Now we come to a game called State of the Nation, where we test out our contestants' ability to work out what the audience here would answer to a number of straightforward questions. Now, Jeremy, you've got to do the first one. Which group of people in Britain whinge the most?
Well, I have to say that we have a lot of misunderstanding from the old community. We're very worried that we plan to scrap pensions, but what we're actually planning to do is to get them off of pensions and into worms.
What's your answer then, Jeremy?
It's the old community, it's the old people.
Oh, let's see what the answer was. And it was farmers at 31%. This is a London audience, and they went for farmers. You were unlucky because pensioners were second with 20% and students at 12%. Other answers we got, there were foxes as one, which seems a bit... And Louise Woodward seemed a particularly ungenerous answer, but whatever the fairness of that, you didn't get that. Graeme, which one thing would you most like to see... Pull yourself together, Jeremy. Which one thing would you most like to see legalised? So I suppose it has to be something which is illegal at the moment, but anyway.
All right, beef on the bone, cannabis, prostitution.
Yeah.
That's a good night out in my book.
Yes.
So I have to
for one of those,
speculate what this audience would have gone for. By the look of them, I'd say cannabis.
Let's see if you're right there. Cannabis, 54% straight off there. That beat into second place income tax evasion, which you didn't mention, which is rather strange coming from your party, and but prostitution was third, so you were nearly there with that. Other suggestions was shop fitting, which seems to be a misunderstanding on some front or other. Being Welsh was another answer. I don't know which, as far as I know, isn't illegal, but perhaps it isn't.
We're looking at that.
Yes. OK, who are we going to next? Pauline, I think. Now, what should have been taxed in this week's budget?
I think that probably there should be a tax and VAT on poverty, and then there would be an incentive for poor people not to be poor anymore.
An interesting answer, popular, I think, with the Red Party, but let's have a look at what the answer was. The rich. A fanciful idea, obviously, which is unlikely to catch on, but 40% mobile phones was second, and strangely, the poor was third, so it wasn't quite as whack as you thought. Stanner stair lifts was another suggestion. And I feel I know who voted for this one. Louise Woodward was another one. Why are you going to the poor girl? I don't know, but there it is. OK, let's go on to the fourth question. This is for Gordon. The question we asked was, what do pensioners spend their money on?
I work a lot with pensioners, so I know that it's clearly not on breath freshener. But I think the easiest indication is to look at where the Red Party have ruthlessly targeted the old people. For instance, they've proposed increases in VAT on ceramic kittens, Radio Times binders, and big woolly pants.
Yes, but can we just move on to the answer away from your generalised attack on the Red Party?
Groceries.
Groceries.
Could I make a suggestion
Yes,
here? What do pensioners spend their money on? Thursdays, surely.
I'm sorry. As that incisive interviewer Jeremy Paxton would say, no conferring. And so your answer was groceries. Let's see if that was right. Bingo! 16%. There were some good answers here from the audience, much better than yours, I have to say, Gordon. Bingo. Second was coach trips, and their grandchildren came in third, which I think was just an optimistic vote from some young people there. There were other suggestions was cat food, Werther's Originals. And hips. That was 20. Let's go on to the yes-no round. This is where we test out the politician's ability to avoid answering with a straight yes or no. If you use the words yes or no, you'll hear this sound. That's it. And you'll be eliminated from the game. So, Graeme, let's start with you. Do you have any sympathy with Jonathan Aitken?
Sympathy is a very difficult word in this context.
Yes.
And I think it would be true to say that I am sympathetic, but at the same time couldn't care less.
Yeah, I see. But have you yourself ever attempted to pervert the course of justice?
Attempted to pervert the course of justice is...
Have you ever used this simple sword of truth? or the trusty shield of fair play? Or do you think they're just novelty condoms?
They're not on sale in my local pub,
Yeah.
but perhaps in yours, Clive.
Yeah. Do you take the Guardian?
I pay for it.
You pay for it. Have you, would you get your daughter to lie on your behalf?
I would never do such a thing, no, Clive.
You're going so well. Let's go to you, Jeremy, for a bit. Now, do you think this week's budget was a success?
Clearly, it's been an enormous success that Middle England has been spared.
Taxes.
Spared the taxes, yes.
Yes, there you go. You said yes. Well, Pauline, did you celebrate St. Patrick's Day?
I did celebrate the great day.
Did you?
I did.
Was it good fun?
It's always good fun.
Are you proud of your Irish roots?
I'm very proud of being Irish.
Did you have a drink? Gordon, do you think the Foreign Secretary's trip to Israel went absolutely as well as it could have done from his point of view?
I think it was crucial to the defence of this country.
Yeah. Do you think he looked good when he was in the rain and being hassled by the crowds?
I think he looked terrible.
Yeah. Do you think Douglas Hurd would have looked better?
That's a moot point.
Do you think he's a natural diplomat?
I think he's natural.
Can Robin cook?
He can when he's round at my house.
Would you be a good Foreign Secretary?
I would be a terrible foreign secretary.
Would you be a good cook?
I would be a good cook, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever cooked? Oh, yeah, there was a... Yes, there was. There was just a little... Yeah, there was a man on the boat.
I was coughing. I have a note from my doctor.
Yes.
Here it is.
And let's do an audience vote now. Again, it's just a feel for things to see which way you might be voting if we're actually having an election. If you're favouring the red party, press your red button. If you're favouring the blue party, press the blue button. It's that simple, and do it now. Oh, and there you go. The blue party is shut. 71%. Well, I think it's possible we have what's called a teasing audience tonight. But you said, I think you were saying before, Graeme, that the polls are notoriously unreliable. So what do you say about having a 71% lead?
Well, they've taken my words to heart and obviously improved the polling system enormously.
Have the wheels come off your bandwagon now?
Not at all.
Clearly, the public are wrong.
Spoken like a true Democrat.
Well, I mean, if people are not prepared to use their vote responsibly, we will have to look at that.
Yeah.